With eye-catching statues, sandy beaches, wonderful dining areas, lovely castles, and beautiful open spaces, this week STB returns to the continent of Europe at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix, which offers a varied amount of challenging yet pleasuring set of corners for the drivers. That's the longest run to Turn 1 on the calendar. The venue was built as part of the development programme for the 1992 Olympic Games in Spain and was finished a year ahead of schedule, which saw Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna going wheel to wheel down the pit straight in 1991, being one of the many moments which has shaped the track's rich history. Tyre wear is high, meaning pit stops are frequent, and the circuit's varying layout rewards cars with a solid combination of power, handling, and aerodynamics. So with Spain being considered as the race that shows how the championship will pan out, will we get a surprise to really spice things up further? So we're now going to go on board with Hungarian driver Lev Kia around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain, ahead of this week's Spanish Grand Prix round 5 of the season. Going to have a good final corner, quite hard with the traction, and you got to have good execution onto this long straight. A little bit of shade there to the left-hand side, but then down the straight now. It's a hard braking for the drivers as they brake just before the 100-metre board. Most drivers do round quite close to the curb there at Turn 2 and then round this long sweeping right Turn 3, putting a lot of strain actually on the necks of the drivers. And then Lev Kia keeping close to the curb on the outside and then round Turn 4, another right-hander, quite long as well, down the hill. Braking there, keeping for the next corner, keeping close to the inside curve. Then the execution has to be very good as you go through this little chicane section. Now, we've just seen quite a lot of crashes in previous seasons of STB. And then round this long corner of Turn 9, taken pretty much flat. And then you end Sector 2, braking just before the 50-metre board there. Locking up does Lev Kia. Coming through this section now, and now this is the Monaco-style section of the circuit, which puts a lot of strain on the traction of the drivers, a lot of, dabbing of the throttle, trail braking through now the chicane, which actually was only put onto the track in 2007. Out of the chicane, hitting the curb there, Lev Kia, testing the limits, and round the final corner, and that is a lap of the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya.